Lesson 8, Retention. Greetings. My name is Mark, and you are so very close to officially becoming a certified network marketeer. Congratulations, and welcome to Lesson 8, where we'll be discussing the concept of retention. Let's jump right in. Hands down, the biggest challenge you will face in your business is retention. The 3 R's of direct selling, retailing, recruiting, and retention are really 1 R, because to be successful in direct selling, you have to do all 3 all the time. Retailing leads to more recruiting, and recruiting leads to more retailing, and successful retailing and recruiting lead to retention. Got all that? You see, each of the 3 R's is equally important. But for your business to be stable and long-lasting, you have to retain a big part of your organization. Retention is to direct selling what endurance is to a marathon runner. Without it, you're going to drop out of the race. Pat Pearson, author of Stop Self-Sabotage and Party with a Purpose, calls retention direct selling's version of the elephant in the living room that everyone tiptoes around but no one wants to talk about. Why the reluctance to talk about retention? Because most leaders are so focused on keeping things positive that they don't want to talk about the realities that everyone in the business must face. As a result, people new to the business aren't psychologically prepared for the bad things that they'll inevitably have to deal with. That is, the disappointment, the rejections, the no-shows, etc. Like marriage, your business has a honeymoon period too. According to research, the honeymoon in direct selling ends somewhere around 8 weeks in the business. When romance, I love this product, I love this opportunity, I love my sponsor, I love this company, gives way to reality, I take rejection personally. I'm not good at sales. I'm too busy with other things. The keys to successful retention and successful marriage are the same awareness of realities and challenges you will face, combined with a willingness to learn and implement strategies that will break through those challenges and bring about results. I'm now going to take you through 10 tips to increase retention. Learn them, practice them, and teach them to your people, and your retention rates will soar. Tip 1. Be open for business. A great benefit to direct selling is you set your own hours. But that's also the biggest downside to the business, because it's easy to take a few hours off, then a day off, then a week or 2 off, then a month off, and before long you're off more than you're on, and the business goes down the tubes. You can't work the business if you're not open for business. Seems pretty obvious, doesn't it? But when people drop out of the business, it's because, in their words, this business doesn't work. It's because they weren't working the business. This business works if you work the business. If you won't work it, it won't work for you. It's that simple. The most successful people in direct sales are open for business every waking hour of every day, because they're either thinking about the business, or learning about the business, prospecting, networking, following up, building relationships, offering encouragement, or using the products themselves. Being open for business isn't limited to retailing and recruiting, although that's the most productive use of your time. Being open for business means being a direct salesperson, not just doing direct selling. To paraphrase Shakespeare, to be or not to be a direct seller, that is the question only you can answer. Tip 2. There's safety in numbers. Direct selling is like baseball. The best players fail their way to financial freedom. Major League Baseball players who consistently average 3 hits for every 10 at-bats are in the top rank of income earners. They get paid huge amounts of money to fail 70% of the time. But even the best hitters have slumps. They get discouraged. But they don't quit the game. Do they? No. They keep swinging the bat, knowing that things will average out over a long season. It's called the law of averages. Same goes for direct selling. Every time you get a no in this business, the law of averages means you're just one step closer to getting a yes. The bestseller, Go for No by Richard Fenton and Andrea Waltz is a must-read for direct sellers because it does a brilliant job of showing readers how to stack the law of averages in your favor. Tip 3. Develop the winners. Don't drag the whiners. One of the hardest lessons that new recruits must learn is that you can't hassle someone into doing this business. Instead of minding the saying, some will, some won't, next, too many distributors spend too much time trying to urge people into working the business, instead of spending valuable time trying to convince a high-powered prospect to join you in the business. You're better off using that time to find someone who is looking for an opportunity. Same concept applies to people in your organization who are more focused on making excuses than making money. As Burke Hedges says in You Inc., there are reasons and there are results, and reasons don't count. Whiners have lots of reasons but few results. And as long as you're an audience to their whining, they'll just pull your results down with theirs. In this business, the squeaky wheel gets the grease only if they are also getting results. Tip 4. Teach gratitude recruiting. Gratitude recruiting is a term to describe a way to reframe your mental scripts to focus on positive outcomes. Instead of focusing on what doesn't work, gratitude recruiting focuses on the benefits that attracted you to the business. Many self-sabotage their success by focusing on the negatives, such as, I don't want to intrude on people. I'm not very good at this. And she's too busy to join me in the business. But in gratitude recruiting, you reframe yourself to focus on the benefits that attracted you to the business. She's so outgoing, this business would be perfect for her. A flexible schedule would allow her to homeschool her children. She's always dreamed of owning her own business, but doesn't have enough money to open a store or buy a franchise. Before talking to a prospect, remind yourself that your opportunity is a gift, and that gifts are for giving. If the prospect receives your gift, that's terrific. If the prospect refuses your gift, that's terrific also. They're not refusing you, they're refusing your gift. So give your gift freely and often, with an attitude of gratitude, and your business will flourish. Tip 5. Teach the cycles of change. The cycles of change is another concept from Party with a Purpose by Pat Pearson. The cycles of change describe the up and down cycles that will occur over and over again in your business as well as in your life. Once you learn to recognize and understand these cycles, you'll be better able to manage your emotions and keep yourself on an even capsize during the ups in your business and the downs. Let's discuss the 4 cycles of change. Cycle 1. Go for it. This is the high point of the cycle. Self-talk is characterized by positive thoughts, like, I'm doing the work I want to do. I'm having fun, making money, and feeling good about myself and the choice I have made. You feel confident, in control, fulfilled. Then something unexpected happens and the negative emotions flare up and you drop into a lower cycle, the doldrums. Cycle 2, the doldrums. This period in your life is like a low-grade depression. You're plagued with self-doubt. You feel out of sync. You're pessimistic and you can't see your way out. You lack energy and direction. You can't motivate yourself to pick up the phone because you dread the outcome. But don't get discouraged. Soon you'll find yourself climbing your way back up into Cycle 3, cocooning. In this stage, you become introspective. You go inward, asking questions, seeking answers to your roles in life, questioning your values, searching for a new identity. This phase leads to feelings of rebirth and self-renewal, which gradually evolves into the final stage of the cycle, Cycle 4, getting ready. In this phase, you're moving from inward questioning to outward action. You read books, attend seminars, and start dreaming again. You start to reformulate the vision you have for your life, and the knowledge and self-confidence you've gained encourages you to become even bolder until, bam, you're right back in the go for it stage of the cycle of change. Everyone starts out in the go for it phase, and then, when life happens, and not everything goes according to plan, it's only natural to sink into the doldrums. And not surprisingly, when new people hit this phase, the weak and the uncommitted drop out of the business. By being aware of these phases, your people will better understand their emotions and endure the low cycle until it starts moving upward again. Tip 6. Relationships equals retention. First, last, and foremost, direct selling is a people business. People distributing products to people, people buying products from people, people recruiting people, people training people, people helping people. The key to success in a people business is relationships. Good, real, genuine, sharing, caring relationships. As the old saying goes, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Lee Iacocca, former CEO of Chrysler, summed up the importance of relationships this way. In the end, every business can be reduced to 3 words: people, products, and profits. People come first. The top distributors are exceptional at building relationships that foster understanding, facilitate cooperation, heighten harmony, increase loyalty, and engender trust. How do you do that? A good place to start is a book called The Diamond Rule by Dr. Nate Booth. We've all heard of the Golden Rule: treat others as you want to be treated. The Diamond Rule is even better. It says treat others as they uniquely want to be treated. Take time to talk to your people. Learn what their dreams are. Learn what they value most. Understand their wants and needs. Treat them with love and understanding and respect. In a word, show you care, and they'll show you loyalty. Tip 7. Get your new recruits making money right away. Research shows that the typical new recruit talks to one person before dropping out of the business. You read that, right? One person. No wonder retention is the elephant in the living room. No wonder dropouts say this business doesn't work. Most of them never gave the business an opportunity to work. Do you remember what your first few weeks in the business were like? You were scared, unsure of what you were getting into, confused about how this business works, unfamiliar with the business model. Well, your new recruits are experiencing the same fears and doubts. They're vulnerable. Just the slightest negative experience can jolt them out of the business. That's why the first month is so crucial for success in direct selling. As the sponsor, you're obligated to do some hand-holding during the recruit's first few weeks in this business. Help them with their invitations. Help them retail products and congratulate them on their commissions. Do the product demos and business presentations until they can stand on their own. Once they start earning money and sponsor some people, then the business becomes real and doable. Remember the 3 R's. To retain, first you have to retail and recruit. Tip 8. Plug your people into a system. More than half of the goods and services sold in North America are distributed through more than 2,000 different franchised businesses. Why are there so many franchises, and why are they so successful? Because they offer new entrepreneurs a proven system that ensures their success by taking challenges out of opening a new business. As the old advertisement for AT&T said, the system is the answer. As Burke Hedges points out in Who Stole the American Dream, the system for running a franchise in Miami and Moscow are the same. Different languages, different prices, slightly different menu, but the same system, which is why McDonald's has 20,000 plus profitable locations all over the world. That's the power of franchising. Successful direct sellers are like franchises in that they plug their new people into a duplicable success system. If you are new to the business and were sponsored by someone without a system, then go upline until you find a seasoned, successful leader and get yourself and your new people plugged into their system. Once people are in a system, their odds of sticking in the business increase 100-fold. Tip 9. Create traditions. Webster defines traditions as the handing down orally of stories, beliefs, customs, proverbs, teachings from generation to generation. In direct selling, the generations are measured in weeks and months instead of decades. As each new recruit is a new generation, so to speak, traditions are essential to cultures because they provide unwritten rules that give direction, meaning, and a sense of belonging for all the members. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, goes the old saying. Some of your traditions will be adopted from the larger community, such as starting each meeting with a meet and greet. Others can be fun and lighthearted, such as offering door prizes or providing refreshments at opportunity meetings. Traditions are cultural signposts that remind members this is who we are and what we stand for, while also signaling your organization's values to prospects. If, for example, you start meetings with country music and keep things lighthearted, and a prospect hates country music and is serious and grim-faced, better to offend her now than later. Some will, some won't. So what? Next, last but not least, tip 10. Teach your new recruits how to follow up and follow through. Unlike retailing or making a list or contacting, inviting, or showing the plan, which are all one-time events, following up is an ongoing process. Once a prospect shows interest in your products or your opportunity, it may take several meetings to follow through on the follow-up process. Unfortunately, lack of follow-up is one of the biggest weaknesses of direct sellers, especially people new to the business. Poor follow-up means poor results, means poor retention. Poor follow-up results from the 100-pound phone phenomenon. Here's how it happens. New to the business, Nancy knows she needs to make some follow-up calls. She dreads making those calls because she fears getting a no. She stares at the phone, and the more she stares, the heavier the phone becomes. And finally, she says to herself, "The phone is too heavy to lift tonight. I'll pick it up and call tomorrow when it's lighter." Problem? The more Nancy waits to call, the more weight the phone gains. So the call is never made. The prospect is never sold or signed. Nancy never sells her product or sponsors a new person, and she drops out of the business. To increase retention, you must train your people to follow up and follow through. Early on, with your new people, do 2 one-on-one conference calls to show them how to follow up. Hand out scripts that new people can read on the phone. Teach your people how to assume the sale. "Mary, I pass through your neighborhood daily. What day is best for us to meet for a few minutes? Tuesday or Thursday? Morning or afternoon?" The more training you can do on follow-up, the better. Here are a few great follow-up questions to ask prospects to get them to make a decision. Are you ready to get started, or do you need to see the plan again? What would you do with your first profits from the business? Who have you been thinking about that you'd like to sponsor? What benefits of the business appeal to you the most? Now, if you follow up on these 10 tips, your business will definitely go up and up in volume. That concludes our lesson on retention. It's a lot to take in, so if you feel you need to go back and review, feel free to do so. Try to write the 10 tips of retention on your own from memory now. If you find difficulty, don't give up. These lessons are here for you to review over and over until you're ready. You're at the finishing line. I wish you all the best in your next and final lesson.